Hello, welcome back to another episode on the CLK. I'm aware I look like that character out of Recess, this one. But it's really warm. I'm trying to keep the sun off my head, even though it's going to boil me in the other sense that heat can't escape. I don't know, we'll figure it out. I might have heat stroke. It's really nice though. And in this episode of Project CLK, we are going to first start off by replacing the caliper that is sticking. That is the main mechanical issue with the car at the minute. I think it's the only main mechanical issue really. Other than preventative maintenance and stuff I want to do. But yeah, the caliper is sticking on, so front right caliper, so I don't really want to do too long of a journey in it at the minute because it's just, you know, squealy and it could warp the discs. So we're going to sort that out. So and then the second half we're going to do a quality of life while driving it improvement, so stay tuned for that. So we've got a new caliper and some brake fluid. We're going to do a flush because I don't know when the last time this was done. So we've got some parts from Autodoc and we've got a beverage. I wish either of these companies, Autodoc or Monster, would sponsor me, because at this point either would significantly reduce my monthly outgoings, it seems. So we've got a caliper here, which is absolutely massive and really heavy, so I hope it's right because it looks absolutely huge, but we'll figure that out. Right, go back in there for the time being. Then we've got 2 litres of Frodo .4 brake fluid, so we're going to do a full change on the system and bleed it all. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so needless to say, this did not go well. It's me. So just taking out the wear sensor, taking off the caliper, or loosening the bolts ready to take off the caliper, and yeah, I just did not have a good time with this. So I ended up trying to take it off, obviously where the flexible hose just goes into the back of the caliper. Done it a million times before, you know. Well, a bit of an exaggeration, but done it a few times before, and yeah, the ball just rounded. I explain more in a bit on the actual video, but yeah, it just rounded, and there was no way of getting it off. So I thought, okay, I'll just take it where the flexi meets the solid parts of the braid line, the steel brake lines, and that was just a no-go either. Again, I explain it more in a minute, but yeah, I just had a really bad time with this. Just nothing seems to be going right, but we did get it sorted in the end. Not the way we wanted to, but we got it sorted, so keep on watching and I'll explain a bit further. Okay, so it's actually a bit after that last segment of video that you'll see where you see me struggling with the caliper line. So what happened was, done calipers loads, but the flexible brake hose goes into the caliper. I can't remember what size it was, I think 14. Put 14 on there. I was like, oh, bit stiff. I'd been soaking it with penetrant. Instantly rounded, and I mean like the full head just rounded of it. I was like, sound. So I tried getting mole grips on it and stuff, and smaller spanners, but yeah, just no luck. So I was like, alright, I'll just go get a new flexible brake line. So I went to Euros, got one, like 15 quid, fine, cool. I'll take it off at the solid end, where it meets like the solid brake line. So I've got an 11mm flare spanner, the correct tool, soaked that with penetrant, put some heat on it, rounded. Oh no, like did not budge an inch. So I was like, bloody hell. So I've got loads of heat on it and I filed it down because it rounded from the 11, so I filed it right down and made one of my ring spanners into a 10mm flare spanner. Got that on it, like I was like, okay, this is so tight, I've kind of like manipulated it onto there, just rounded. Just made out of cheese, these bolts, after so many years I guess. And yeah, so what I ended up having to do was drop it off at a garage, and I hate doing that, but let me show you why. I thought that we were going to have to run a full new brake line, so Mercedes don't sell the pre-made like Lenta brake line, and also even if I could run a brake line, which is a bit of a long run, I'll show you in a second, I think you have to bleed the ABS ESP unit on these, so with like a diagnostic kit to actuate all the valves and stuff if you're removing it from there, which is what I would have had to do. There's no joins from the wheel arch to the like brake booster ABS sort of module, so taking the engine cover off. So that's here, this like ESP unit is going to have to go all the way down there, around the back of the engine, down and then into the wheel arch, and it'd have to obviously be bent and manipulated into shape, and then yeah, you have to bleed it from here with like a diagnostic kit, which I don't have that powerful of a diagnostic kit. You need like an Autel or a Snap-on or something, so yeah, not ideal, but what actually happened was the garage, with a bit more time, expertise, and yeah, just know-how, managed to actually get that off and free it up. I haven't looked what they've done yet, whether they managed to. I don't think you can replace the nut because the ends are flared, so I don't really know what the crack is there, but they said they've done it and there's a new caliper on it and it's bled up, so yeah, absolutely spot on. Now, the brakes are still binding a tiny bit, as in when you can hear, when it's going around you can hear this catching, but that's obviously due to the fact that because I've been driving on it for ages, the discs warped. So I've got some discs and pads on the way, and I'll fit them as soon as they come. But for now, it shouldn't be too bad. It shouldn't damage the new caliper driving it. And to be fair, I'm away on holiday for a bit anyway, so it won't really be getting driven. So yeah, what we're doing instead is, I was like, I'll whip off the engine cover and have a look, see what's going on under here. I ain't really, these are, you can't just pull them off, you got to unscrew them. It's like 2 screws there, 2 there, 2 there, some Torx bits. And I'm glad I did, because look at this, burn dry, burn dry, burn dry, burn dry. Number 5, Mambo number 5, got a bit of black death going on. So not really bad, not to the extent where, you know, it's oh my god, I'm going to have to air chisel through this. So I think that'll still probably pull out, but that makes sense why it stinks diesel all the time. So yeah, I'll order a new seat cutter and some new seals for all 5 of these, and I'll do the other ones preventatively, obviously. Fairly straightforward job. You just got to be careful with what you're doing and make sure you're doing it in the correct order of operations, but it shouldn't cost me too much either, like, you know, maybe 20-30 quid for the cutter and some new seals, so not a huge issue. And the reason I was under here, really, I needed to get to power steering reservoir, because power steering groans, and loads of people were just like, oh yeah, this happens, like nobody tops them up. And yeah, look at these. So this is on cold. There's a hot and cold. There's like the bottom parameters are for 20 degrees and the top's 80, and it's, yeah, not even reaching the minute. Well, it's just about on the minimum of the cold. So we've got some power steering fluid we're going to add a little bit. What? Anyway, the main focus for the rest of this video will be sorting out the cup holder and the audio. So now that the caliper's sorted, that's what I wanted to do. So I've ordered a cup holder, it's in a box in there, and I've also got a Bluetooth adapter that plugs into the back of the factory head unit. So both of those, I wanted to do them together because they both require taking like the dash apart to some degree. Well, not the dash, like, you'll see, it's not too involved, but I didn't want to have to do it. You kind of have to do the same process at least part of the way for both of them, so I didn't really want to do it twice. So yeah, let's start assembling the car. So I've done this a few times on the wife's C-Class, and this CLK is pretty much the same. So I'm just going to take the work from the center console up, basically take the gear selector, surround off, take the ashtray out, take the top bit out where the sort of controls are for locking the car and stuff like that, and the hazard switch, and then you just work, and you can get at the bolts to the radio, take that off, and then yeah, you're in pretty much. Did have to do a few bits extra to manage to get the cup holders and the glove box out. There was a few extra bits down at the bottom, but you know, pretty straightforward, so I just cracked on with this now. What an absolutely awful process this is to get the actual cup holder out. All this is all plastic welded, and I can't seem to get, well, for a start this is a different colour to mine, it's like a darker colour, so it won't match the rest of the interior. So I was like, oh, I'll just, you know, swap this bit out. But it seems to be that I just can't get it out, so I was like, oh, I'll just swap the cup holder out. What an awful design, can't find anywhere I'll swap it out. Anyway, I'm filming this bit specifically, so I gave up after a while, just in case it helps anyone. Basically, there's 2 tabs in here. You're probably better off with actual like butter knives or something, but 2 tabs in here. I don't even think you've got to put these all the way in, but you just got to manipulate the tabs somehow, and then the whole assembly slides into the slides in on itself. I'm going to get some better knives, so I've just managed to do the other one, but I'm not really sure how I did it, so let me get some stronger knives. Almost like using a radio removal key. You know, you've got to like slide things into the tab. Awful. How far in are these tabs? Okay, so it's right at the back. So if I point at this unit, it's probably going to be quite crap to see, but there's these 2 slots on top, and it's like at the back and down. You've got to lever it in. I just did one side at a time, and then push it into the unit, Jesus Christ. So I had to remove the front of the cover plate on the front as well, and take the screw out on the side. Jesus Christ, that is difficult. Like, way more over-engineered than that needs to be, really, for, you know, a cup holder. So I can now. So there's the tabs you see on the side. There, on there, but you can only see like the top of them and the right at the back. So anyway, put this new one in. Really? Okay. So. Okay, so that was an absolute ball ache, but now we have a cup holder in the dash. So I'm gonna, you see the mess in there, so I'm gonna re-put all this back together. I want to get this finished tonight, so I'm probably gonna have to break out the lights so you guys can see what I'm doing. So let me just crack on with this, get this cup holder back in, and then we'll go through the next step. Next couple of clips, you're going to see me trying to route the microphone. Normally, I don't put these in when I do this, but I thought, you know, I'll give it a try. And to be honest, I'm happy I did, because I've been able to answer calls and actually speak to people. I've just put the microphone right in front of the steering wheel, so you can't really see it. It's kind of out the way enough. You can only see it if you sat in the driver's seat, and it's just kind of tucked away. You just see the little fluffy head of the microphone coming out. And yeah, really glad I did it. So I've just kind of pressed it in with a trim tool, and that goes up and around sort of like the trim to the left hand side of the steering wheel and dash and everything. So I got that in, shaved the connector down because it was a bit tight, then also realised I was trying to put it in the wrong bit, put it in the right bit, loosely wrapped the sort of negative and positive onto the cigarette lighter, and just checked it worked before I go ahead and solder it all in. Got to check first, because I'm soldering it, it'd just be a nightmare if it wasn't incorrectly, so yeah. I'll let you watch me finish this off, and then I'll catch up with you guys after that. Alright, as you can probably tell by the fact that I had the lights on, it was pitch black. I got that finished quite late, so the glove box just took me a lot longer than I imagined to sort, to get the cup holder in. Really annoying design that you would take everything out to get into there, but just for the sake of the cup holder. But here we are, it's sorted. In regards to the aux, like Bluetooth capability, yeah, all sorted. So you'll hear in a sec. I've got the volume up. I don't know if you heard that because it's real quiet, but connected. So now it automatically connects to my phone when I get in the car, if I have my Bluetooth on, if I remember. I'll show you what it looks like. It's on a radio, and you just hold CDC. It changes to input, and now, yeah, I can put my music on. So let's play some royalty-free music. And yeah, so that's pretty good. The only downside is you can't use the controls for next track or anything. You can use the volume still works, but you can't use next track. And when you put it to this on the dash, it just says aux active. But that's, you know, whatever, that's the price you pay. So you can use a hands-free thing. When my phone's up here, I can just you know, use a hands-free thing app that I have on the phone, so I don't have to touch the phone while I'm driving. Or you just set a playlist and forget about it. So yeah, pretty good. And the cup holder, boom. So that's good enough. It doesn't really hold bottles very well, but it holds cans fine, even big Monster cans. So when I'm about to go to the gym in a minute, I'll put my Monster in there, and yeah, it'll be absolutely fine. It's a bit far away. It's kind of, on like the E90s and stuff, it's kind of like here in the dash, so it's a bit closer for you. But it does the job. Yeah. The other thing with the aux as well, you don't lose any signal quality because it's kind of plugged directly in. It's just Bluetooth streaming rather than streaming it through like one of the radio ones. It obviously streams it from like a radio station through the airwaves to the receiver on the back of the. But it's not even on the back, so wherever your aerial is in your car. So yeah, can be a bit of a loss of signal, but with this, it's crystal clear. Yeah, I can have my music and give myself tinnitus all day. So that concludes this episode. So yeah, I'm just about to head out, so thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing if you liked the video. Give it a like, comment down below. What do you think I could have done differently? Any questions you have about the aux install or anything like that, or the cup holder, because both can be quite awkward procedures, but yeah, happy days. So thank you very much. See you in the next one.